So you've been told to go get a job because it's super safe and secure, but how secure really are jobs and how do they stack up against the safety of having an SMMA business? So with that being said, let's break them both down, compare and contrast them and see which one comes out as the safest option for you. So guys, Montel Gordon here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I kind of want to break down SMMA and having a job and see which one is kind of safer, because I know that a lot of people are told that jobs are super safe and secure, but from my findings, I found that, they're not really as secure as a lot of people lead you on to believe they are. And I've actually seen a lot of my friends go through this, and a lot of my friends' friends go through this, where they've had a job, done everything right on paper, they've gone to university, got good grades, got a job, and yet they still get fired, still get sacked, still going through a tough time, still not making the money they thought they was going to make, having jobs in industries that they thought they wouldn't even dream of being in, not in the good way basically, meaning that they're in industries that are super irrelevant to what they've actually been studying and stuff like that. So guys, before I even jump into this video properly, what I want to say is that I know that this is a touchy subject, and I want to make sure that you guys know that this is all based on my own personal opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own personal opinion, and this is my own opinion. In fact, I actually encourage you not to listen to me and go and do the research yourself. But with that being said and with that out of the way, let's jump into it. So I'm kind of going to break this down into a couple of little pointers here and there, guys. So point number one as to why I believe having an SMMA business is safer than having a job is that, one, when you have a job, you're an employee, which means you're employed by a person or a company. That means you have no control over anything whatsoever. You may have a little leeway and a little, I don't know, if you're actually high up in the actual hierarchy in the job, then you may have a little say here and there, but traditionally, you guys, you do not have a say in anything. And with an SMMA, you control and dictate everything. Having control is much safer than not having control, if you know what you're doing, that is. Guys, I know that SMMA and entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and there should be people out there that should be working jobs. And I know that having a job is not for everybody, and it's not the best option for everybody. So I just want to make sure I get that clear and cleared out the air. So guys, let's break this point down a little bit further. When you're an employee, you are basically employed by somebody. Again, that means you have no control. That means the company can do whatever it wants and you have no say. So for example, there's 101 different reasons you can actually get fired from your job. And I'll give you some real examples I've heard from some of my friends, friends. I'm not going to name any names, but these are real examples. You can actually get fired for, telling a funny joke that you actually deem to be innocent and just a funny everyday joke, just banter around the office, but that can actually get misinterpreted by somebody as either sexually harassing or racially abusive, and you can actually lose your job for something like that, which sucks, I know, because you're probably in your own head thinking that that's just an innocent joke. Another reason you can lose your job is if you're not productive on a consistent basis. Let's say you're slacking off at work. If you keep slacking, eventually you're going to get fired. Of course, there are all job safety protection laws and policies and all that good stuff, but if you keep consistently slacking off, you will just get cut there and then, no remorse, no nothing. And with an SMMA, guys, if you slack off, it's all on you, it's all your fault. You need to fix up and get back up on that horse, but you won't get fired. Your business won't really go anywhere. It's not like the business is going to get taken off you by somebody. I mean, your business just won't do well and you probably won't eat. So you definitely have to make sure your SMMA business is up running, well oiled, well machined, and is producing that income for you. So guys, another reason why you can get fired is if you're sick for too long. Now, this is one of the craziest reasons I've ever heard for somebody being fired for their job. I know you're not supposed to slack off and hide away and shy away in your bedroom and not go out and work. You're actually supposed to be at work. They pay you to work, and I know that. But what's crazy is that humans are real delicate creatures. We die all the time, we get sick all the time, we're in car crashes all the time, we have accidents and stuff like that. Now, if you're sick for a prolonged period of time, you actually have sick days, which is to me is just like the most fucked up thing I've ever heard, to be honest with you guys. Just put it out there to be real with you. Having sick days is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard, because it's like, what if you're actually genuinely ill for more than 2 weeks or more than 3 weeks, whatever the actual sick day allowance time is? Having some sort of allowance, that just sounds like kid shit to me. It sounds like some kid shit to me, to be honest. Oh, you can have an allowance, Johnny. Here's your 14-day sick day. It just sounds like some bullshit to me anyway, put it that way. But I'm not trying to ridicule any jobs or anything like that, but I'm just curious as to how is it that we as humans say we're all one on this planet and stuff like that, but we're not even allowed our own brethren to be sick for a period of time if he's actually genuinely sick? I mean, you can actually lose your job for that, and if you lose your job, that's real. That to some people that can be a real kicker. Another reason why you can lose your job, which I find super hilarious, is that let's say the company you're working for sets a really overly ambitious goal, and they're in discussion with other businesses. They may have a loan with somebody or some sort of business relationship that they've promised somebody, we're going to hit this mark by this date, this deadline, and they don't hit it. What they'll then end up doing traditionally is turning around and saying we need to downsize and restructure things. And what that can lead to is employees being cut out of the business to cut costs. And that could be your job that's actually being cut there. And then you can just basically lose your job just like that. Again, these things do not happen in an SMMA if you're the business owner. It just doesn't happen. It just cannot happen. You can't fire yourself. You can't be fired by anybody other than yourself. So there's point number one. So point number two, the reason why I believe an SMMA business is safer than a traditional job is because, as my dad used to say, don't put your eggs all in one basket. Now, I'll explain that as I go along, but traditionally, when a person has a job, they have a full-time job and they work that one job. They probably don't have any other side hustles unless, they're smart and actually think outside the box, or they're actually trying to get out of their job and, they've got a side hustle that they're building so they can leave their job. Anywho, what we're going to do is take two candidates. Both of them are making £24,000 a year. Let's say that we have candidate A. He's got a full-time job. I don't know what he's doing. We're just going to give him a traditional 9-to-5 job. So he's got a full-time job and he's making £24,000 a year. Whereas the other person, candidate B, he has an SMMA, so a social media marketing agency, and he has 2 clients. Each of them are paying him £1,000 each, profit that is. So he's making £24,000 also. Here's the kicker though. So if candidate A was to get fired from his job, his whole entire income and revenue stream, income stream, will actually be eliminated from that one action right there. Whereas candidate B, if he has 2 clients paying 1k each a month, so 2k times 12 is £24,000 a year. If he loses one of his clients, he'll still have £12,000 in income, and he can then go and find another client to replace that client. So candidate B can actually still go on and make money even though he's just lost a client, and he can then replace that client. Whereas with candidate A, he will need to go and replace a whole job, and he could be out for a good couple of months looking for a job. And it all depends upon the current job market and other external factors such as that. And again, you don't control those. Whereas if you're with SMMA, you can control how much outreach you're doing, when you get a client, your sales scripts, all that sort of stuff. You are in full control. And again, candidate A, he's going to lose all of his income stream. That could put pressure on like his whole family, where he's living. He might have to downsize his house and stuff like that. Could be out the job for 3, 6, 9, 12 months even. I know that sometimes there's a really tough job market, and that could be the case right there. But with the guy that owns an SMMA, so candidate B, he can go and then replace that lost client with another client, and he'll still have his other client. So he's actually still making money. So he's not as much money. He'll still be making $1,000 a month. Not as much money, but he's still making some money to get by. And it just gets better the more clients you get, and it just gets more stable the more clients you get as well. So if you even break that down to 4 clients, each paying you half of that, so each client is paying you $500 a month, so that's still $2,000. If you lose one client, then you're still making 1.5k, which means you've only lost 25% of your revenue and income stream that month, whereas the person with the job would have lost all 100%. So to all the parents out there that say to kids, when they're starting entrepreneurship, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, actually having a job is putting all your eggs in one basket, because if you lose that job, you're gonna have to go and find another one. So moving on to point 3. So point 3 is that SMMA is actually an online business that gives you time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. So because it's an online business, you can work wherever you want to work. You could be in Bali, Italy, I don't know, Spain, Dubai, wherever you want to work, you can actually work. You even be in bed or on the beach or something like that and still make money with SMMA. So you have location freedom, financial freedom. You dictate how much you can actually earn with an SMMA business, whereas with a job, it's a stuck salary and there's little to no incremental improvements. Whereas SMMA, you can literally go from making 1k a month to 6k a month within a very short period of time, within like a couple of months or something like that. Whereas with a job, that's just not really possible unless you're doing something crazy and kissing like crazy amounts of ass just to get to those positions. And because it's an online business, you also have time freedom, which means you can set your own days. Now, don't get too carried away with this, but you can literally wake up whenever you want to wake up and work for as long or as little as you want to work for. Again, don't get carried away with that, because if you slack off, it will come and bite you in the ass. So with all those factors in mind, that means that SMMA, because it's an online business, doesn't rely on your current country's economy. And with a job, it actually does, because it will probably be based on your local economy. So I'm in the UK, and the UK is going through, the whole Brexit thing where we're leaving the EU, and that can affect people's jobs and actually affect the current economic climate and stuff like that. And it could be actually harder to get jobs right now. I'm not too sure. I don't really watch the news. I don't really listen to all that sort of stuff. But SMMA is actually an online business. That means it's not dictated by your current country's economic climate. So that means that if the economy is bad, which traditionally, if you look back over time, the economy has peaks and troughs, it's just natural. Whereas online business, it doesn't really have that, because what you can do is literally turn around and go operate in the US. Well, I'm in the UK, so if you're in the US, you can literally go and close clients in the UK. You can go close clients in Canada, Australia, New Zealand. You can work from here and have clients all over the globe. So it's not actually based on your current economy, which is really, really cool. So let's say that because the UK are now leaving the EU, let's say that really just fucks up the whole economy. I wouldn't even be affected by that whatsoever. I could literally just go and close clients over in America, where everything seems to be A-okay, or even in Canada or Australia, New Zealand. It doesn't matter. Wherever they speak English, could be in France, could be in Italy, could be anywhere. I could get clients anywhere, to be honest, because it's an online business and it's not geographically restricted or limited. So point number 4, which kind of ties into the back end there of point number 3, because it's an online business, SMMA, and there's a job which is not an online business, locally, geographically limited, that means the economy can crash. Like, it can go up and down, crash. And if you take a look over time, again, like I mentioned earlier, you can see like the actual trends where the economy is going to crash. And I can 100% guarantee that very soon, within the next 5, 10, 15, it doesn't matter how long it is, the economy will crash again. Whereas with the internet, if you actually Google, has the internet ever crashed? Ever? Not once has the internet ever gone down in the history of the internet. It's never gone down. It never crashes. In fact, there's actually been a debate that whether or not it's even possible for the whole entire globe to like have a blackout in terms of the internet going down all around the globe. So guys, if the internet does go down across the entire globe, we probably will have way more problems than your SMMA business. Trust me, planes will probably be falling out of the sky and all that sort of shit. But yeah, guys, the economy crashes, the internet doesn't. Your business will be based on the internet, so you're gonna be all good. If the economy crashes, which it always does, people lose jobs all the time. So again, there's another safety reason for you. So point number 5, which is last but not least, some jobs that are currently available today and that exist today will probably be extinct within the next 5, 10, 15 years, especially due to increases and advances in technology. artificial intelligence, all that sort of stuff. Whereas marketing has always been around, it will always be in demand because there's always businesses being started. So that means that there's always going to be some form of marketing in demand. It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, Facebook advertising, Snapchat, it could be on Instagram, it could be a whole other platform that's not even been invented yet, like the new Vine or something that could come around and like absolutely kill Facebook. But if you take a look at the in the past, you can actually see the economy crashes. You can see, you know, certain jobs were around then, but they aren't now. So that means that people will be losing jobs. Some jobs won't even be around anymore. Whereas SMMA and marketing has always been around from the dawn of time. Literally, ever since businesses started, there's always going to be a need for marketing, because that's how businesses get customers. And customers, you know, are the life vein and the blood and heart and pulse, whatever you want to call it, of businesses. So yeah, guys, those are my 5 points as to why I believe SMMA is actually safer than having a job. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there talking about like, oh, what about 401ks and all that sort of shit. I'm never going to get into that right now, because that's a whole other topic. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you can see that job security isn't what it used to be. Times are changing. You're gonna have to do something a little bit different if you really do want that security. Just don't be fooled, guys, by the lies these people tell you. Don't follow the masses. Observe the masses and do the opposite. That's normally what happens. That's normally how you know you're going down the right place, if you're doing the opposite of people. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in another video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.